Throughout the course of a wrestling show, the ring itself often takes a bigger beating than the competitors. From apron powerbombs and turnbuckle abuse to 400-pound big lads big ladding all over the place, the Squared Circle takes unreal punishment, and it must be strong enough not only to contain the action, but, not fall apart halfway through. Unplanned ring failures are extremely dangerous, but on the other hand, a spot of choreographed destruction can create an incredible visual. From wrestlers bursting through the canvas to full-on collapses, wrestling history is full of such spots, and they always go over well. I'm Andy from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 awesome wrestling moments that broke the ring. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 10. Tazz and Bam Bam create a crater. Given the promotion's penchant for the totally batshit insane, it should come as no surprise at all that one of wrestling's most memorable ring breakages took place in ECW. While not necessarily a pay-per-view worth seeking out, Living Dangerously 98 does feature the incredible sight of certified big lad Bam Bam Bigelow crashing through the ring boards with Tazz attached to his back. The ECW was attempting to choke Bam Bam out and attached himself to his back like a limpet. This didn't go well for him. The stocky little fella took the brunt of the fall, and he was knocked clean out when his head hit a ring support on the way down. This allowed Bigelow to crawl out of the hole, drag Tazz with him, and pin him for the belt. Number 9. Sabre Jr. removes the ropes. PWG Pushing Forward Back 2017. Though primarily known for his sick technical skills, Sabre Jr. has one hell of a mean streak, as demonstrated in this PWG title match. If you haven't seen his match with Chuck Taylor, it's definitely worth checking out. Sabre played an awesome bullying ring general against the endlessly sympathetic Taylor, who'd been in the company for 9 years without winning the top prize. Chucky T went through everything, and after escaping several submissions via rope break, Zach had had enough. He ordered the ring crew to completely remove the bottom rope, preventing further breaks. This seemed like a genius tactic, but no. Knowing that his safety net was gone, Taylor turned the match into a hardcore brawl, and eventually put the dastardly Englishman away following a modified piledriver onto some thumbtacks. Number 8. Chokeslammed to Hell. Raw, August 2000. On the list of things Kane bloody loves, messing the ring up sits somewhere between setting things on fire and electrocuting Shane McMahon's bollocks. The big red scamp loves wrecking the ring. He's done it several times throughout his career, and while the most recent example came back in October when he burst through the canvas to make a return nobody really wanted, an October 2000 episode of Raw provided the most memorable visual. With The Undertaker under siege from Chris Benoit and Shane McMahon, Kane hit the ring, ran them off, and looked like he'd saved the day. But nah, that'd be way too easy. Kane swerved everybody, helping his brother to his feet only to lock his throat in an iron grip and then chokeslam him all the way through the ring. An awesome act of destruction in a legacy full of them. Number 7. Ospreay and Ricochet's rope malfunction from Defiant True Destiny 2017. Ricochet and Will Ospreay competed in a lengthy series of dream matches that divided opinion among wrestling fans during their mutual time on the indie circuit. At their best, the bouts were absolutely spectacular, and in February 2017, it was Defiant's turn to play host. Their True Destiny match was just getting started when both went for simultaneous handsprings against the ropes. The top rope gave way when Will made contact, and suddenly, the match was almost in jeopardy. It speaks volumes to their skill and ingenuity that they quickly turned it around, averting disaster and producing a good match regardless, with Matt Striker making a great call.
So good they broke the damn ring!
It was so well coordinated that everyone thought it was a work. But no, these guys are just that damn great. Number 6. The world's heaviest superplex. SmackDown, June 2003. Now this is WWE's first notable example of a full-on ring collapse. Brock Lesnar was wrestling Big Show, and the ring just couldn't handle their top rope superplex. The thing was rigged to collapse as soon as the 500-pound Show hit the canvas, and it did, with the entire structure giving way on itself. It helps too that Show and Lesnar originally maintained that the whole thing was unplanned. Regardless, the optics were awesome, and while Lesnar was already established as the company's most dominant monster at the time, the collapse helped enhance his imposing aura. Number 5. Taker incinerates Edge. SummerSlam 2008. Much like his pyromaniac brother Kane, The Undertaker is all about workplace destruction. He broke the ring apron and yanked Diesel into the abyss back in 1996, and did the same to Kane in October 2010, but the biggest and baddest case came at SummerSlam 2008. Him and Edge were entrenched in one of the year's best feuds and met inside Hell in a Cell at the pay-per-view. The rated R superstar put up one hell of a fight, but eventually fell to the dead man. He used Edge's own spear and one-man concerto against him. But the pinfall wasn't enough for Taker. He set up 2 ladders after the bell, then took Edge to the top. One cutthroat gesture later, and Undertaker had delivered one of the biggest chokeslams of his career. Edge crashed through the canvas, and the whole burst into flames soon after, rubber stamping this feud-ending win. Number 4. Big Show enters the Hall of Pain, Vengeance 2011. 2011 was the best year of Mark Henry's career. The Hall of Pain gimmick transformed him from also-ran powerhouse to WWE's most ruthless monster. And after defeating Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship that September, he rekindled an old rivalry with Big Show ahead of Vengeance. Honestly, the match itself was pretty dull, but it did produce a memorable repeat of the Big Show Brock Lesnar superplex spot from 8 years prior. Show was once again the victim, and the bout was ruled a no contest when him and Big Mark flattened the ring. The feud continued, and WWE's shoddy booking would slowly chip away at Henry's aura, but the collapsing ring put him over huge, and even though he didn't win, he felt like an even bigger monster coming out of Vengeance. Number 3. The many rampages of Braun Strowman. In many ways, Braun Strowman is an over-the-top movie monster come to life, having built his reputation not only on those fantastic matches with Roman Reigns, but also countless acts of wanton destruction. From flipping ambulances to pulling down lighting rings, he bloody loves wrecking things, and this extends to the ring. Poor old Big Show was on the receiving end of yet another ring-collapsing superplex in April 2017. Granted, it wasn't as shocking as the first or second time we saw the structure give way, but it still looked awesome. Then, in November 2017, Strowman turned the table on serial ring wrecker Kane, power slamming him through the mat on an episode of Raw. A memorable moment from a feud largely devoid of them, and another huge scalp for WWE's greatest modern monster. Number 2. Foley Flies, No Way Out 2000. As one of the most selfless performers in wrestling history, Mick Foley regularly sacrificed his long-term health for the purpose of telling a good story. He was at the heart of some of Attitude's most death-defying spots, and while his Hell in a Cell bout with The Undertaker remains his most iconic, his No Way Out 2000 clash with Triple H was a much better match and produced some serious ring destruction. As Cactus Jack, Foley put Triple H through a brutal, bloody onslaught. It made its way to the top of the cell, because of course it did, and then we all knew what was coming. The game sent Cactus flying through the cell roof and the ring below. Like the famous Taker fall, it went over huge, but for agreeing to it, Foley is both the most giving wrestler in the world and a complete lunatic. Number 1. Big Show's many bulldozings. Aside from the many ring collapses he has fallen victim to, no wrestler has ever shown more disrespect for the ring's structural integrity than Big Show. The 7-footer has inflicted his own destruction several times, particularly early in his career. I mean, the man made his WWE debut by ripping through the mat, for God's sake. In 1999, he became the first man to ever send The Undertaker through a ring, creating a huge crater as he chokeslammed the diving dead man from the top rope. The destructive pattern runs even deeper into his past, however, as in January 1998, Show literally pulled a WCW Thunder ring apart while Scott Hall was still inside. With retirement on the horizon, we've likely seen the last of Big Show breaking rings, which will no doubt be a huge relief to set builders around the world.
So that was our video. Thank you for watching. Please do feel free to click on anything happening around my head, or something terrible might happen to this dog. Is that you too sweeting me, bro? Ugh. Disgusting. That's really bad.